If you are a fan of classic Mustangs and eye candy, you've got to see what I fell in love with. So, founded in 2013 in Southern California, known on Instagram as Classic Stangs, and he's got another page as well, was formed in order to unite the owners of the world under one community. And I love it when I talked to him just earlier. He said, I really don't have followers. It's just a classic Mustang community. It is a Mustang community. Dan Castle has served our country as a Marine, and now he is here to talk to us today about his classic rides, the classic rides that he's photoed on his Instagram page, and that have made all of us so happy. Welcome, Dan, to Ford Mustangs, the Early Year Podcast.
Thank you so much for reaching out to me and inviting me on here. Um, as far as my first podcast, like I said, and I'm ready to open up about the community, my love for the Mustang, and all that.
So, those that are not followers on Instagram, just tell us a little bit about the foundation that you started. You know, the Classic Mustang Ownership Foundation that you started way back in what year did you say that you started your page?
Well, I started the page in 2014, but I started the work on the actual community in 2013, and that just started because coming out of the Marines, I missed that group, that camaraderie that I had with the boys inside the military. And I wanted to do it with the only thing that I could relate with the world was my classic Mustang. The Mustang itself helped me uh, overcome a lot of the PTSD stuff. I got busy with restoring my car, and there was a community out here of owners that I can relate to through the car. So in 2014, I made the Instagram page, and it was completely new to me. So I, I can start off by saying that I it was by mere accident that I made the name Classic Mustangs because Classic Mustangs was taken, and I noticed that there was no page for Classic Mustangs in at that time. Now there's many pages, so many you could name, but at that time there was nothing dedicated to the Classic Mustang. I used to send my car the photo to these modern pages, and they would never post my car. There was no room for this. I swear it was like outcasted. The classic Mustang was not appreciated at the time. This is 2014, where people are just posting the resto mods, or it was no room for a normal looking V8 engine, rusty 66, 65. So I made the page, and from the beginning, I wanted it to be somewhere where you could show off your car no matter what condition it's in, no matter
Mhm.
where you are in the world. And that's basically how it took off. I never lost that idea of everybody can have their car posted on this page because this is our thing. Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about, so we'll get back into your Instagram page in just a second, but tell me a little bit about your ride. Do you currently have a classic
Yeah.
Mustang?
Yeah, I have my daily driver's a 1966. It started off as a inline six, but through the years, I got this car in 2009, a little bit after I joined the Marine Corps, because I wanted something to do on my off time. When you're not training or you're not in war, you can have some off time in the Marine Corps. So I got this car in 1966, and I used to make trips up to LA and visit my family. And I said, you know what, this engine, it's not strong enough. I want to fly to LA. I want to drive at 100 miles per hour. So I put a 302 in it. And through the times, I swap the engine, the front end, the rear end, and it's basically a V8 car. But I have two other Mustangs. I have another 66 Coupe and a 69 Grande. So I've only owned old cars.
Wow, wow. So it sounds like your love is in getting your hands under the hood and doing some of the work. How much of the work have you done on your own, and how much have you given to other people to do?
So up until shout out to Slugger, Jeff in Santa Ana. Up until then, about a week ago, I've done most everything myself. Engine, I rebuilt that engine with the help of guys in the community. Shout out to Toasty and Brave Cheese on Instagram. So uh, I like doing it myself with the guidance of the people that have done it already. Because if I break down, next year and my buddies aren't there to help me, I'll have the knowledge in my head. So that's what I like. I like doing it myself. So I've done uh either all the work myself, or like I said, Jeff put in my rear shocks, and he changed my he put a lift kit on the back, and he changed my pan gasket because I don't have the tools anymore because I moved down to Oceanside. I have no tools.
So
But yeah,
what advice would you give to somebody that's kind of like me? You know, the joke is that the formal mechanic work that I do on my car is I take it to the place to get it washed, because if I
yeah,
do any of the work myself, it will
yeah.
end up sitting in my garage and busted up. So what advice would you give to somebody that's either in the process of buying one right now, or looking for one, or maybe just purchased one?
Yeah. I've always thought, and a lot of people say bought, built, not bought. I don't have a problem with that. You know, as long as you take care of the car and you have it to your image. It's fine if you don't know how to work on your car yourself. If you have the money to buy a brand new car and have it as a trailer queen, have at it. It's your car. That's the beauty about these cars, that not one is treated the same, not one is built the same. Some guys out here have built their own car. If you're mechanically inclined, buy a project car, build it yourself, go through the process, have fun and enjoy it. But if you don't have that knowledge, buy a car that's fairly restored. And if you want to learn, the University of YouTube is free to all of us.
That's so true. So
Yeah.
true. So many of the little, like, I bought my car, it's a 65, but it has a 66 grill on it. And I just remember I had Chris Ingracia, the doc, on the show, and he's got a restoration shop in I think he's in Detroit or outside of Detroit. And he was just saying, hey, it's really easy. All you got to do is, these 3 or 4 things. And I'm like, I know how to I know how to handle a excuse me, I know how to handle a pliers and I can use a vice grip, but I was just afraid that I was going to wreck the entire car just by changing out the grill. Do you find that
Yeah.
people are generally that, like, they're so timid? These cars can probably take a lot of abuse too, can't they?
Well, I mean, not too long ago, I burned a bunch of wires coming out of the solenoid. So like, these cars are here for a reason. These are 50-year-old cars. If they were not durable, they wouldn't be on the road still. You're not seeing these I hate to pick on the imported cars, but as soon as a Honda breaks down, it's junked.
That's
It's sitting
right.
in the
It's
junkyard.
totaled. It's
Yeah.
totaled.
So there's these cars are very durable, and I think that if it's not your daily driver, you should have fun with it and try to put hands on it. YouTube is there to help. Friends are always there to help. So yeah,
So tell me a little bit about the beginning, the origin story of your love for classic Mustangs. It sounds like you've got a couple of them in your life. It sounds like you've always had old cars in your life. When did this whole fascination with Mustangs start?
my mom owned a 1962 or 63 F100 unibody, and I remember this truck because when I was about five or four, I crashed it because I messed with the gears and I put it in reverse and I crashed it. And that was the first exposure I had with Ford. I was by chance, by luck, that I got a Mustang. I didn't know a lot about them. And when I first bought this 1966, I was so expedient about it. I said I need a project car, and this Mustang was by chance the only available car I could buy under my budget. And I fell in love with it immediately. It was love at first sight. I had never seen something so simple, and by simple I mean that I opened the hood. There was a little inline six, and I said, "Well, there's not so many parts. I can learn this." I looked at the inside, and there was just seats, steering wheel, and I said, I love this car," and that was it. That was it. From 2009 until now, I've been in love with these cars.
So tell
Yeah.
me a little bit about some of the work that you've done. You mentioned you put in a Boss 302. Is that what you
No,
did?
no, just a 302, basic 302
A
cubic
basic.
in. Yeah.
So you put in a 302. Have you ever done any of the brake work or steering work or any of the body work on your own?
Yeah, a lot of I used to, because this car had drum brakes for a lot of its time all around. I had to learn how to do drum brakes, which is not so hard, but the first time you do it, it's difficult. I had to learn from a friend, Omar. He 65 SPT on Instagram. So all these people come into my life, you know, through the community because I'm ignorant and I go out looking for the knowledge. He taught me how to do the brakes. If I ever have a problem, I'll text everybody. I'll say, guys, I don't know how to this new engine that it has. I took it out of a 87 5.0 Fox body, and I messaged the guys. I said, "Kid, is this possible? Can I just carve it and run it on my car?" I rebuilt that engine. Now it's in my car and it's working fine. Um, I mean, everything you name on that car, I've put hands on it, and that's why it's probably so messed up. But it gets me to work and it gets me home.
So
You
tell
know?
me a little bit about the makeup of your garage. It sounds like you might have some pretty cool equipment in there, or you did at some point. Is it it's pretty simple now?
It's been all my life. I've just had a little bag of tools. That's it. Just a little bag and a jack, and nothing that I would feel proud of showing people because it's honestly it's pretty the bare minimum. Sometimes I have not the right tools, and that's why I need help. But I moved down here to Oceanside, and I don't have a garage anymore, so I don't have anything. Most of the work I'll do at my friend's shop now.
Incredible, incredible. So when it comes to you having to buy parts for your car, do you work with any one specific part supplier, or do you just go wherever you see it would be appropriate to go?
Yeah, for parts, I've usually shopped with CJ Pony because they're dependable. I've never had a problem with any of my orders. They've always oh, sorry about that.
That's okay.
I've never had a problem with CJ Pony, so I usually shop through them, and they offer all the brands, all the makes, all everything that you need. So nothing in particular from. I'm really not into that big of brand names and stuff like this. Whatever is gonna be working for my car, that's what I'll go with at the time, and I'll ask over the community. I have, you can go on Instagram story, pop a question up there, and the people will reply, and I go off of what the people say.
So I'm looking at your Instagram following right now on Classic Stangs, ClassicStangs. That's yours, right?
Yes, sir.
So Classic Stangs has 93,300 followers and has some amazing photos on there. So tell me a little bit about your fascination with this community. I'm looking at the photos. Each photo that you post, it looks like it gets between 3,000 and 6,000
Yeah,
likes or loves
it
or hearts or
fluctuates.
whatever. Yeah. Tell me a little bit about your fascination with this community and how you think that what the secret is behind some of the stuff that you've done to create this community. Because I know that there's many classic Mustang fans, and we all love to showcase our photos. And your home is a wonderful place to showcase these photos. So tell me a little bit about the community.
Yeah, so to me, that's everything. That's there's nothing else to me than the community. I don't care about likes. I don't care about the follows. And the fascination for me to be able to hop on a plane, you get on a plane and you go to Germany and you have friends there. I've done it myself. Classic Stains Germany is there. You can go to Hamburg, you can go to Frankfurt, you can go to Würzburg, you can go to Nuremberg, you can go to all Köln, you can go anywhere in Germany, and I guarantee you I can find you someone who drives a classic Mustang who's part of the community. Or you can hop on a plane and go to South America, go to Peru, Ecuador, Brazil. It exists there. That's what I love. I am just addicted to looking for cars anywhere in the world and contacting the owner. Hey, is there anybody else that owns a classic Mustang? Can we maybe work something out? Maybe get you guys together. Start taking photos. Expose your little part of the world through my page to the world. This exists now. So you have cars in. You can name a continent, and I can name you a country where I've had, good conversations with owners, and they show me their cars, and I want to show the world that this car has brought the world together many times around. Here in California, it started, as a little group in a at a local meet, and now that's why I say it's from California to the world because the sun never sets on the community. When it's dark in California, there's light on the other side of the world, and there's a classic Mustang owner there, and there's so many people I could name, but you don't put a name put a car in the face of the community. And me, I'm just running a page, but the community is running itself. Many people have come from the rib of this page. Many classic Mustang pages have started because the influence of classic Stangs. Many clubs have started because of the influence of classic Stangs. And that's basically what I wanted to get on here and talk about, was that if you create your own club and it comes through by help of knowing, somebody in our group, in our mass group, and it's happened many times. We formulate a certain group somewhere and they just do their own thing. And that's what it's all about. Finding friends, doing your thing, and enjoying the car. And if you hop on my page, you'll see this a lot. I'll tag Classic Stings Germany, and there's about 5 owners in Hamburg. So I don't know. I'm in love with the community because everybody's together.
Yeah, man. And I love your passion that drives you for in the community. I love your enthusiasm. It's easy to see. And again, Ford Mustang community, oftentimes we will do these interviews live, and you are welcome to hop over to our Facebook page. It's called Classic Mustang Marketplace. If you want to see what these interviews live look like. I accept anybody in the group that has a classic Mustang or is enthusiastic about classic Mustangs. Even if you don't own one, I'd love to have you in the
Yeah.
group if you can contribute to the conversation. So tell me a little bit about this, Dan. When you're not posting on your Instagram page and building communities through that, do you like to go, obviously in non-COVID times, did you like to go to live events? Is there any, what were the events that you did like to go to when you did go?
Well, I stopped being so active in cruises and gatherings, and mostly because I don't think that I should be out there all the time. At in the beginning, it was it was insane how many meets I would make a week. It was crazy. I was driving thousands of miles every month just because of the car. So, and that's usually me. I would go every Friday, Saturday, Sunday to a meet. If we had a cruise, if we had a local meet, I was there. And now in recent history, things have changed. The COVID stopped the meets, but now it's made bigger meets. Now people want to go out and drive their car more. So I haven't participated in any of them recently, but I'm gonna start, rejoining the community because I think that there's a whole, again, there's not a lot of things just for classic Mustangs, which is what classic Mustangs or any other generation was always invited to the meets that we had. And I see that those have gone down. It's more like the quarantine cruise where every car, like they bring thousands of cars. That's really cool, and I love that because you'll have the opportunity of meeting other owners of classic Mustangs or other makes, and that's awesome. But I want to hopefully bring back the old ways of you know driving from San Diego up to LA or meeting halfway with the LA groups. I'm hopefully can do a Northern California, Southern California meet right in the middle with the classic Mustangs. That's what I that's what I want to do. I want to drive my Mustang with other Mustang owners and do something that has never been done before, which is what we were doing in the when this started. And yeah, so I'm not so active in the meets and the cruises right now, but I want to get back to it.
Say, maybe I was thinking about combining a couple of my passions. Maybe we have like a ponies and grapes kind of get together where we have people that are classic Mustang fans. We drive to the Paso Robles wineries in our classic Mustangs and take over the tasting room at some of these wineries. That could be something that could be kind of cool. Huh, I just thought of an idea that might possibly work.
We've done it in the past. We've gone to breweries as a club and drank responsibly,
Right.
talked, ate, and then drove home. There's through these cars you can do anything. Photography. There's many of these people that own the cars and they're just great photographers and they concentrate on that or making videos. Anything to do with the car, man, I'm all for it and that's what I love to do. that's just what I love to do.
No, I
Yeah.
totally get it. Totally get it. Hey, and if that idea is something that, as you're listening to this, Ford Mustang community, if the ponies and grapes is something that you're interested, stomping grapes with ponies or something like that, we'll come up with a really catchy name. But if you guys decide that you live in Southern California or live anywhere around the country, and if you want to drive your Mustang to Los Angeles, then we take a group hike up to Paso Robles. It's about a 3 hour, 2.5, 3 hour ride from where I am. I would be open to the idea of taking, 10, 15, 20 cars and doing a caravan. That would be a totally cool ride to get up there. And I'll tell you, right now in December, the weather is a little bit cool to ride if you have your top down. But I'll tell you, somewhere around February, March or April, it could make a beautiful drive between LA, heading up the coast past Malibu, through Santa Barbara, and then over to Paso Robles from there. It could be pretty awesome. I would love to do something like that.
2021 is gonna be, you know, everything that we couldn't do this year. Well, we could have, but things didn't
Yeah,
go the way they were supposed to. But honestly, 2021, I want to expand to find other groups of people, do different types of meets, just cruise and enjoy life, enjoy these cars. So yeah,
I hear
we
you,
should
man. I hear you.
definitely think of doing
Hey,
different things.
so question for you. So, do you have any heroes in the classic Mustang world? Any of the old time guys, any of the designers or the
No,
Iacocas or no?
no, that to me, um, I love this car for, I think, for a totally different reason than everybody else. I don't like these cars because of how they look and because of the history, because of Ford. I like this car because of the people I've met through it.
Yeah,
Honestly, there's, these designers, Carol Shelby, to me, that's their job, and they loved it. They were ambitious people, but I love these cars because of the people I met through these cars. The car doesn't mean anything without the community to me. The car, it could have been a Chevy, it could have been, I could have had an Impala, and I would have done what I'm doing. I could have had, hell, if I would have bought a Prius, I would have built a Prius page and built the community off of Prius. So
I
to
hear you,
me,
man.
Carol, every hero to me is anybody who has genuinely met someone, another owner, and became friends with another owner. That's my hero because he has a good heart and he's doing things for the right reason. Somebody who's humble and not selfish, part of the community is my hero. That's it.
Wonderful, man. I so appreciate you being on the show. Give one more shout out to the pages that you manage on Instagram, and then we will
Yeah.
wrap up from here, Dan.
No shout out in particular. Just if anybody is seeing this and you know me, and personally or through the page, I want to say hello, and thanks for supporting the community. Thank you for inviting me on the show, and hopefully we can do this again in the future. I could bring you into more of what I do. Hopefully, you know. So thank you very much for having me on.
No, I'm totally game. I love the whole idea of getting a little bit more into the community, understanding a little bit more how Instagram and the community actually can weave together really nicely. Maybe even
Yeah.
starting an Instagram page of my own just for the show. Again, I look to your support and help for that kind of stuff.
I
So,
think that would be amazing because there's
really,
many people with stories out there.
no, I appreciate it. There are a ton of stories that are out there for sure. And Dan, your story is a very interesting one. Dan Castle, he is the founder and the creator of that Instagram page called Mustang Stangs. I'll make sure I'll make sure that I put all. I'm sorry, Classic Stangs. I'll make sure I put
Yeah.
all of the information about his Instagram pages directly on the show notes. And again, Dan, thank you so much for sharing your wisdom on the show today.
Thank you very much for having me on. Have a good day.
So if you have an idea for the show or you think you'd make a great guest, send an email directly to me. That's Doug@turnkeypodcast.com. Get our episodes in your inbox. Follow the link in the show notes to themustangpodcast.com. And thanks for listening. Keep it safe, keep it rolling, and keep it on the road. Until next time.
Thanks for listening to the Ford Mustang First Generation The Early Years podcast. Please subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to your podcasts. Ideas for the show? Click the link in the show notes. Thanks again for tuning in.